Good evening, welcome, it's me Lone Gamer UK, and we're going to be playing some Sunless Skies. Now I haven't played Sunless Seas, but I did get it with this game, so I might go back and play that after this, because I hear it's just as good in a different, earlier form. Now I might have to change my UI around a little bit here, because it might get in the way, or take it off altogether. In fact, I probably will do that, because there's a fair bit of text in this game. I could put this at the top. Start with, let's see, I'm thinking of taking it off anyway. That's the image. Images. So let's move this up here. Move the label up here. Just for the time being, I might take that off. We'll see. I don't know an awful lot about this game. It does look a good game. It's RPG, adventure, backstories, gothic. Pretty unique, to be honest. So shall see. Okay, well, if the UI, I think I'll just turn it off because we don't want it getting in the way. In a new game. If you die, you can only continue with a new captain, or if you die, you can reload or continue with a new captain. Probably do that. Our first gameplay. Aiming assistance. Only a few player weapons arc towards targets. Leave this all as standard. The weight of your cargo affects fuel efficiency. The more you carry, the more fuel you'll need. Space train engine. Flying train engine. Log of Her Majesty's locomotive, the Orphean, March the 14th, 1905. Our expedition to the domains of the dead has been uneventful. Orphean is damaged and in grievous need of repairs and supplies. We are returning in haste to the Reach, where I hope to make port at New Winchester. May God be with us, for 1,000 deaths wait in the sky. Final entry of Captain Amelia Charity Whitlock, DCM, written shortly before her death. Mrs. Blue Kingdom Transit Relay. Okay, so a little bit of a tutorial first. W is forward. S is back. A and D. Whee. Like a little train locomotive. We return to the Reach, an untamed sunless span of the heavens, London's new frontier, celestial garden, unwild. I've no idea what I'm doing in this game, so have a look. That's our hold. Our status. Officers. Map. What's that? Options. I want the fonts. Is that font too big? No, I think it's probably okay. March the 16th, 1905. And we have to play around with this a bit. Your locomotive is crippled. Captain Whitlock is badly injured. You give the order for half rations to eke out the last of your supplies, March the 17th. The first officer of the crew look to you. The nearest station is New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean there safely? My health is the green bar, I think. Loot. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the nitrous. Mandis. Bitch. The wreck of the Ozymandias. Mandaeus. The wreck hangs in the sky. Boxed with recent gunfire, you and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas lined with felt to protect against the cold sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Wicklock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass on the district? You silence him. Now is not the time. Keep across to the wreck. You jump, your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias and your leather gloves fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of your boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch and you climb inside. The interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow panelled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over the bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. Clear the obstacle away. Lead your party on a more precarious path. Clear the way. As you strain against the stubborn steel, you remember an event from a year ago. The boiler explosion had trapped an engineer under a tangle of plating and pipework. The captain was first on the scene, you were second. Together you managed to pry the wreckage up. You to crawl beneath it. While the captain braced the bar across her back, by all means take your time, she grunted and dragged the engineer out. Back in the present, the twisted bulkhead yields. Your companions clear the exposed rubble away. The way is clear. You've reached the Ozymandias hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully somewhere amongst the detritus you can find parts to repair the Orphean and restock your research. 8. Dead. Renewed, you find enough food and gear to restock your supplies and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orphean. Food will need to be thoroughly thawed, course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. Aho, cries one of your party, prying the lid off a long crate. Holds a cannon, still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered bird cage, pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. You have now 4 supplies, and you've gained 15 hull, new total 20. The Ozymandias emits a long juddering creak. Your boarding party exchange nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that can be mounted on your locomotive and an educated bat. Mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orphean. Liberate defendant bat and deploy it as a scout. Go for those. Otterell and Hather says Jerusalem fires single shells in a good range, more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get it back to your vessel and fit it immediately. So we've got the gun. Now we need the bat. Bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience, immediately begins haggling over pay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on Ozymandias, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. You have now 1 diffident bat. Press onto the engine. You might find more fuel there, but you better hurry. The Ozymandias is beginning to tear apart. As one screeches, the metal buckles and tears. You press on through the shuddering corridor, screeching frantically for the engine room. Send a smaller party ahead to retrieve the fuel. No one is keen to go alone. In the end, you have to rely on drawing lots. The 2 members of the party with the shortest straws make their way to the engine room. The rest of you return to Orphean and wait their return. And wait and wait. Too late. With dying groan, the Ozymandias buckles. The 2 ends spiralling in different directions in the sky. The 2 crew that were still aboard are lost. We had 8 crew, now we got 6. Good start. Lost a quarter of my crew. Solemnly, you stoke your engines and steam away, restocked and rearmed, but fewer. Okay. Have to send out scout. Plus use supplies. The scout reports successful expedition. That a station, okay. Teaching us. Summoned by Captain Whitlock. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from the sky. Captain Whitlock dies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like monstrous brand. When she coughs, boils of acrid smoke pour from her lungs. Inquire after the captain's injuries or approach the bedside. The brand. A word of the living fire pursued the Orphean across the Blue Kingdom. It caught you just before you passed through the transit relay reach and set its brand upon the captain. Bend itself right through her, the doctor whispers. When I closed the worst of her wounds, I could see the sign and seared into her bones and her organs. Judging from her symptoms, it's on the inside of her lungs too. The captain leans to one side and vomits a plume of fire into a copper bowl. Nothing, the doctor. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from the sky. Reach the bedside. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is hot as a kettle. Made arrangements? The Orphean will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. But promise, she breaks off to scream a word in language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker. Her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. Promise her you will obey her last command. Make no promise, tell her to rest. She sinks back, relieved. All in my will, she gasps. Be a better. Captain. She breaks off as the signals burned into her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Better captain than I. Better captain. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back into the scorched pillows and in a twisting frantic. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed, black marks over his skin like monstrous brown. Take your leave, you have an engine to command. You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of the air behind. Enter the new bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. Gonna make it, to be honest. Blow this debris out of the way, I think. Reach the marauder. The marauders defeated. Your approach buckle record. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. Raid the remains. Marauder pillagers homestead hunter. Strip it for repairs. I'll strip it for repairs. Gained 5 hull. How much is it supplies to send the scout out? 5. This is cost supply. Let's read the remains of this one. Boarding party returns with wallets and watches, cufflinks, lockets, and keepsakes. You store them in the safe to be pawned when you make it back to port. You have 43 songs. March the 21st. A taste of smog, the sound of iron and we're home. 512 experience gains. New port captain, your crew crowd the windows. Coast into the bustle, the din, the soot and the steam of the Wolvesey station. It's clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from the Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. He requests to come aboard. Must speak with you, Captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Look to the Orphean's doctor. He has just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn, his hat is in his hands, lower his arm. Passing. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The orphan itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that unfortunately Captain Whitlock has just... he says. Sorry to hear that. Very sad, very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. Dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It will be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? The whole supply. What's my tip? Okay, so now we create a captain. Create your captain. Today, London lies between the stars. The new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the northern gate was opened, before the renewed empress led her people to the skies, it lay in a vast cavern far beneath the earth, deep, dark, marvellous. Who were you then? A street urchin? No. A soldier maybe, poet, academic. Priest. Izela. Into the high irons. Ministry auditor. Investigating. So iron is a skill of confronting and overpowering. Mirrors is investigating and deducing. Arts is a skill of convincing and enduring. Veils is a skill of deceiving and evading. Doesn't matter too much. Investigating, deducing. I'm kind of thinking this type of game that might be quite good. Ministry auditor. Guess I should be that. Department of Correction. Have some of that. Wealth. Use an ambition. Do I want wealth? I want fame, truth. I kind of want truth, but it says be one demanding our best play by Lynch has already completed wealth and fame. Our lodgings at a hub port. Immortalise your exploits in the Song of the Sky. Which is a grand house. Let's do fame. Appearance. Hair 1, hair 2. gonna say, why my woman? There's one. Go with that. Term of address, sir, citizen, captain, my lord. Go with captain. Name. "17, 10, 25 and 10. Start game. Three weeks have passed. This morning Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned in the necropolis train bound for the serene mausoleum. Now you sit with a handful of her relatives in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before expedition to Blue Kingdom. Listen to the end. In a final codicil, the notary announces Captain Whitlock confirmed that the possession of the Orpheum was to pass to her first officer. He peers at you with dry grey eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orpheum's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that at the time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card and deposits it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orpheum is yours. Captain Whitlock's legacy. You can investigate the black box at New Winchester. You could take the box to London as requested, or you could sell it and be done. You can bequeath the large black box. Gained 100 sovereigns. New total 3. Clamouring Central Station in New Winchester, a place of steam and smut and thundering iron. Here you can find people willing to pay for a skilled captain's service. Explore the city. Recruit the incautious driver. I specialise in test driving, but I'm looking for some. Let's get the black box. Captain Whitlock left it to you in a hold of the Orpheum. Her will describe those black box description. A casket of black basalt, longer than you are tall, unadorned, with a single small recess that contains a keyhole, the thing that must weigh most of a ton. It stands upright in the corner of the hold, where the crew have pushed it out of the way. Consider what to do with it. Try and remember when Captain Whitlock acquired the box. Examine the box. As the dimensions of a sarcophagus plundered from the tomb of some forgotten prince of Media. Sell it. Sell the box as a... There are no carvings or inscriptions on it. The join where the lid meets the body is too thin to admit even a knife blade. There are no holes by which light or air might find their way in. It is impossible to see inside without opening it. Even the keyhole has been engineered in such a way as to prevent peeking. The recess with the keyhole through, as far as you can determine, that it is a more recent addition to the box. Stone has been drilled and chiselled away to create space for a modern metal lock. I remember when it was acquired. Preparation. Captain Whitlock had brought it on board just before your ill-fated expedition to the Blue Kingdom. It was empty then, you know, because you saw the lid and the box carried on board separately and assembled in the hold. Not empty now, it is sealed, even heavier than before. You left for the Blue Kingdom shortly after the box was delivered and made no stops on the way, so whatever is inside the box now, Captain Whitlock found in the Blue Kingdom. Consider what to do. Greet the driver. You've lost 20 sovereigns. Okay. Driver board's eager to get started. Recently parted ways with the Windward Company. Personally, I think a crash a week isn't so bad. They disagreed. Onwards. Let's explore the city. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, thronging, frantic heart of the Reach, an ever-expanding port of soot, smudged glass and bright steel spilling across the drifting mist-wrapped village hall. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammers and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. An opportunity to learn about trading. Successful Skyfarers fund their expedition by dabbling in trade. Visit the Promise of Days, a club where seasoned captains gather to trade stories and share advice. Inquire about the Winchester's War. On the Petal Trail, the porter of the station advises you to visit the nearby pub, the Promise of Days, and talk to the seasoned captains there. They keep their ears to the ground, they'll know about an opportunity or two. Visit the Promise of Days. All pistons gleam on the walls, the shells are crowded with mementos across the sky. Clientele raise their voices to be heard above the comforting clamour of the adjacent engine yards. Introduce yourself to the seasoned captain. Four are gathered at their usual table. The masked citizen, a libertine, a polymath, and a pioneer. Masked citizen, a libertine, polymath, and a pioneer of neo-nocturnal artistic school. The bedeviled Vidact, a scholar haunted by his discoveries. The plucky baroness explorer, collector, spycatcher, spatchcocker Meg, who hunts monsters. Jesus. Of course, everything out there is jolly dangerous, says the Baroness. Few risks are skies, so news of distant ports is valuable. Collect ports reports from those places you visit and deliver them to Victory Hall or Company House. The more you turn in at once, the more they'll pay. I need to collect port reports and turn them in, but save them if I can. The more I turn in at once. Look for the opportunities on the way. Advise the masked citizen. Passengers want transport. Rich men in need of work, etc. Trade. Meg slides you a store and the captain shuffles around to make room. The masked citizen buys you a drink of their own invention. It is violet and foggy. The plucky baroness gives you a brisk, encouraging grin. Ask away. How can you buy and sell goods? You can sell practically anything at a big trade hub like New Winchester, the Baroness answers. If you want to buy, though, you'll need to travel through more distant ports. Each specialises in particular export. Meg spits chewing tobacco onto the floor. No money in buying at market prices and selling at them too, though. You'll want to look for bargains or prospects of people offering better money. Buy cheap, sell dear. Yeah, okay. About prospects. A masked citizen sips their drink. The biggest port in each region has a bazaar where captains do business. There you'll learn of the people at the ports prepared to pay over the odds for a commodity. When you accept the commission for a prospect, it's yours. No other captain will pursue it. It's all fantastically civilized. A smile is droll. You will have to source the goods yourself, of course, says the bedeviled. Find a port that exports them. The client will want a certain amount. You supply some or all of it, but if you provide all they need, they may furnish you with an additional reward. Prospects, missions or opportunities, trading opportunities. Ask them if you know a good prospect of. The host at Magdalen's needs an urgent delivery of seeds, paying a pretty penny too. If I were you, I'd get to the bazaar straight away, put my mark against it. The host at Magdalen's seeds, so we need seeds. Meg grunts. Broker imports Avon is selling cheap seeds. We need to buy cheap seeds in Avon and sell them at Magdalen. Opportunity. Port Avon lies to the east. Magdalen lies to the southwest. Okay. Trading opportunity. And I just did. How to expand the prospect. Meg laughs, a noise like a sneeze crossed with a ricochet. Ain't who you is, it's who you know, innit? Nepotism, she taps her broken note. Right, the masked citizen remarks, the wider your circles, the more advantageous the opportunities that will present themselves. A wise captain makes the most of them. Opportunity, the fastidious spectre. Excuse me, Captain. A woman pushes through the crowds towards you. She is short and square-shouldered, in a neat black suit and polished shoes. She shows you the case of a pocket watch. It is embossed with the crown and hourglass of London's horological office, the body responsible for ensuring time is constant across the empire. I'm hoping to book passage to Port Prosper, she says, slipping the watch. I can, of course, pay. Okay, offer a passage. A new passenger. Thank you. The locomotive I was on broke down following a boiler rupture. The chief's engineer's fault, I suspect. A gentleman fonder of brandy than diligence. Here's an initial sum to seal our bargain. Prosper lies to the west, southwest of New Winchester. In 50 sovereigns, new total 173. A fastidious inspector has joined your engine. So we've explored the city, we've investigated the bot. Follow your ambition, the song of the sky. They're your locomotive. 15 sovereigns. Hire a crew. Right, I do need to hire 6. All crew. 10. Initially, crew members are suspicious. They think you might be a journalist with the Gazette. Still, they're happy to drink on your coin. As the night progresses, their reserve vanishes. When they arrive at your engine the next day, they sign their papers. They come with headaches and nausea, and the last of their things. They go to their berths ready to make for the stars. An occurrence, your crew quality is now 10. Ponder your ambition, where to begin. Take advantage of a quiet moment to pull out your journal, the blank page before it sits a smug and burnished at the heart. At last, inspiration strikes the need to fresh material. Go out and explore. Play wilderness, gather sky stories and tales of terror to begin the song of the sky. Right, so we've got several things. Let me have a look what we've got to do. So everything's basic, we've got no improved stuff. We've got so does it tell me? We've got the ambition, we've got the captain's legacy, the trading opportunity. This is fastidious inspector that we've done. We want to do these two, don't we? So I think I'll do this one first, the money one, trading opportunity. So we need to go to Avion or whatever, and then Magdalene. Okay. Don't know where any of it is yet. Let's explore the map. Undock. Avion, I think they said, was to the east, and Magdalene was to the southwest. Can't be sure though. Cross Forum 57 experience. Send out a bat. Oops. Scavenge for parts. I need that because weapons. And hull. Emotion. It was this that was up there. Let's go. Clock. The facilities inspector approaches you in the galley. Captain, good day. I noticed your ship's clock had stopped. Perhaps you permit me to repair it. She has a little case of tools and hopes a hopeful expression. Gives a grateful flicker of a smile and sets to work. Soon she has the back of the clock off and has spread tiny cogs across the galley table. Obscure tools gleam bristly amongst them. Everything has its place. I appreciate the opportunity to keep us up. Staring too long at the stars is harmful to the temperament. Trying to fix our clock. Thank you, she says, a small embarrassed silence. Possible the inspector is rather hard to tell. Or about her work. She sniffs. It is of fundamental importance that 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in one corner of the Empire occurs at the same time as 10 o'clock on the 2nd of June in the opposite corner. How is an Empire meant to function if it can't agree what day it is? Fortunately, the process is complicated by the fact that time is less reliable than it was. The hours trade has seen to that. 1 second, just need a quick bow. Oxford user London. A seat of the Empire lies far off Albion, where a man-made sun burns in the sky. Man-made sun burns in the sky. Another sun blazed there once before Her Renewed Majesty conquered it. Ask about the hours trade. Let's do that first. Favourites with gifts of years to extend their lives, and you can become rich, mining for hours to satisfy London's hunger for them. Oh, hours have more uses than that. We use them to increase the efficiency of work world, speed journeys to distant regions, to resolve overcrowding in prisons. It does make my life more difficult when time knots and stretches like wool on the loom. More difficult, but more vital. Her Majesty seized a great trove of them when she assumed the throne of hours. Now even more have been found in the Reach. Miners dig them from the ground. She looks momentarily wistful. I hope some day to retire with a modest pension of years myself, prolong the better part. Far from home, it has an uncouth splendour, but I miss Albion and the steady light of the sun. Sunless reaches are so misty and quiet. She pauses, but critical. Territories here are rich with raw hours, and enough vegetation grows to feed the whole of London, even if some of it's There are those who feel that London is a long way away and that they'd do a better job of governing themselves. The frontier attracts independent spirits. We call them taketes, and for the hobnail boots that are so practical out here, London unsurprisingly disagrees. The Windward Company earnestly represents Her Majesty's interest in the region, sometimes very earnestly indeed. Taketes, called London's loyalists, stovepipes. For our hats, I suppose. He avoids looking at you, and you, Captain, where do your sympathies lie? London with the Taketes. It's of fundamental importance. Captain, shall make a cup of tea, she says. Today the sky is cool and blue as ice. How am I? That below me. Pre-human ruin, ingenious and ignobly forgotten. Fires are icing. Can't do that yet. This Avian seems miles away. Village Green. What is Port Avon? Great. So we need to get the seeds here, don't we? Behold a ruin of giants, gargantuan blocks jigsaw together, furred with moss and whispering with orchids. Bucolic village nestles amongst them, smoke coils daintily from the chimneys. A leisurely game of cricket unfolds on the village green. Disembark. A ramshackle dock juts into the sky beside a farmyard scattered with rusty locomotive parts, plating, piping and chugging motor with its innards exposed. A oily-faced black-haired girl weighs your locomotive into position. Welcome to Port Avon, she called. As you disembark, a rich knot of scents greets you, leaves and wood smoke, enriched by an fragrant, pungent intrusion of goat. Port Avon welcomes new visitors, but your novelty will wear off the more time you spend there. When you visit in future, you may need to bring something to keep them friendly. The Port Avon welcome is now 3. Oh, okay. You see, it's going to be like that, is it? Way to write a port report. Were it not for the talk of smugglers and sky beasts, you could easily confuse this place for a village on the world you left behind. It's quite peaceful here, apart from some fuss over a newspaper delivery. Villagers frown and change the subject. Ask about it. And your port report into the endurant veteran at Victory Hall or prudent secretary at Company House in New Winchester to earn rewards. Okay, so we've got a port report, our first one. Port Avon spills prettily across a section of Colossal Walker's back. Do that. So I can recruit a repentant devil. What? Repentant devil. That's a good thing to do. Port Avon. Came here for the seeds. So where's the... Go to the bazaar. Here's the seeds. How many do we need? As much as we can. Go with 25 to buy. Charmer and Sons. Need some fuel, don't I? How much money have I got? Shit, I've got no money for fuel. No miners? Selling. Two barrels in hold, 3% remaining. God, I've got enough fuel to get back. Green. Don't need to, I think that lowers my... %17% chance of success, 24%. Come back and do those another time. I got enough fuel to get back. fuel. I think I probably do. Maximum fuel you can have. Right, so we've got to go to the southwest of New Winchester to sell these seeds, so I need to at least know how to get back. Just go back. Let's see about this devil thing. What was it? You want? He's looking for power, claims to be useful. He doesn't ask where you're headed. Requires a sign-on fee. He's repentant. There can be no harm. He'll give you a signet who will increase your iron by 2. Need 100 sovereigns. Okay. Fair enough. Hi Marcus. Your farm looks wrecked. It's a mess. Done all green and watery. By skyey, not water. Where the hell am I now? I can come down this way. Yeah. Hopefully I've got enough fuel to get back. Keep going down. I might have to stop at New Winchester to get more fuel then, but I need money. I just spent it all on these bloody seeds. Am I going down, down, and then up? Lights in the distance. I don't have much health either, I'm only half health. I'll run into another bad guy. No. Neutral. Oops. I've got no money for fuel. Just docks. Clamouring Central Station of New Winchester. I represent Hallideg's, a banking house. I promise you this will take only a moment. Why is that music got really loud? You just hold a contract for if you have no vacant. You're going to pay me money? Bank. These in storage. 5 consignments and ministry approved literature. I'll claim it. I think I'm screwed. Not the bazaar, is that good? Okay. I guess I've got enough fuel to get to this place to sell. I just don't know where it is. I'm trying to get to somewhere southwest of New Winchester, which is, let me have a map. Trading opportunity. Purchase 3 stacks of evidence seeds from the bazaar at Port Avon. Sell them in the bazaar at Magdalen's Port. Magdalen. Port Avon lies to the east of New York, while Magdalen's lies to the south. South-southwest. Yeah. I'll repair my ship. Yeah, this stuff. Bullets I've got. Where I can improve my track. When I have lots of money, I think. See if we can find this place. If I can buy fuel there, I'll probably have enough fuel to get there. Can't be too far, just. bold as proud these dim grows in defiance. Have any health left really? Found and benefiting on those. We're going to start starving soon. Wreck. Mourn the dead. Into terror. Crew is starving. Work alongside the crew can toil on me. Stoke the engines, burn more fuel. Let's go. Some of the crew look fairly nourished. Has all got another. These crew. I need to find this goddamn place, wherever it is. We're going too far. Oh, shit. I've eaten some of the crews there. Lost one crew, gained 10 terror. Ah, Skyfarer is exposed to the haunting light of the stars, prone to sudden obsessions, erratic behaviour. Find them to quarters. Lost another crew. We have no crew left if I don't find this. Southwest. I'd have fuel to get there if I knew where I was going. God damn it. Damn, screwed the game up already. Losing crew so quickly. I think I'm losing this crew. Ports. Looks like a port. Port Prosper. Not where I want to go. My crew. Payment. I've gained 3 fuel, 3 supplies, 150 sovereigns, 60 experience. That's good. I'm okay for fuel. I need to crew. They plan to call it the Albert clock in memory of the Pikeman's console. Wandswood. Sign-on fee. I don't know if I've got the money for that. I need to... One fuel, one supply. The overweight. Get one more supply. I repair here. I need to sell these overseas. Through here. Bring me nameplates from taxi engines or keep lists, you'll be rewarded. We will hunt taxi locomotives and provide their nameplates. And the parameters. Reports. giving us the location on the map. This is south-southwest, it's got to be down here still. And this would be west, it's got to be transport to settlers. We already have a settler board, you need to drop them off before you can pick them up. Pieces of wood. Where am I trying to get to? Magdalene. Sell them in the Bazaar Magdalenes. Port Avon lies to the east, while Magdalenes lies to the south, southwest of New Winchester. I'll repair my shop here. Let's get out of here. I'm going to go sort of down, it must be somewhere around here. We've only got 5 crew and they're eating each other's arms and legs off. wind. What's going on? We'll go that way. London Pub. An enemy. You fight it out. After me. Support. Is this report? Is it the one I want? Does it say the House of Small? Oh, Magdalene's. It is. Oh, thank God. No more supply. Now. Right. I think I bought these for 25, selling them for 80. Great. Now that you've saved some money, it might be sense to buy some locomotive equipment from Abraham's Engineering. If you have at least 1,500 sovereigns, you can even buy the new locomotive from the Wolseley engine yard. Don't. 573, again 150 experience, bargains available. Fresh hours, get your fresh hours here. All raging outside, I need. Refuel. Resupplies. Maybe. Jumble of undistinguished souls. That's going to cost me 200, is it? It cost me 200. 160, that's all. Beat your nightmares, treat your terror. Really have any terror? Let's report. Let's do this. Speaking with an attendant. This is a hospital for the spirit. Our staff will become the person you need. Need crew is what I need. The guests going in for treatment. Walks away, face set in a slight frown. Trader flourishes, aware that he's breached a social covenant. We're in the crowd. Watch the clock set in the great clock. Fortunately, the host is really cool. I mean, we've yet to become a known face around here, so I can't. I need to repair, so I think I need to get back to New Winchester. There was a thing right here, wasn't there? This might be a mistake. there's something right here, isn't there? Experience. I lost already. Also, there's this crystal symbol. There's a ship hiding here, wasn't there? God damn it. I need a bit of train. Bit of sky train. Bookin's corpse. What's that trouble? Go up. Past this dude coming after me. We could be in combat, whether we like it or not. Board the defeated marauder. Bring the poor fellow aboard. The crew of the marauder lie dead in the corridor, killed not by your guns, but knives and small arms fire. The only survivor is the captain, locked in the brig with a bottle of brandy. Chalk eyes stared back from every wall. When he ran out of chalk, he began scraping them in with his fingernails. Little remains of them, but bloody stumps. Great. Just before, Captain, says a crew member, grasping your arm. Sky madness. Magdalenes can treat it if you can bother to take the poor sod. Oh, just left there. Uncle Bullet. We really want to go back there already. I want to get Terror. Strip the engine, loot the hold. We need health. I do want to start stripping. Okay, 12 health, that's better. Where the hell are we? Magdalene's. It's right there. Okay, we'll go back because we're only... Your skeleton crew are unable to keep the engine in necessary state of repair this morning. A leak field. I've got no crew, man. Order your crew to repair it. I'm going to lose crew if I do that. Steal the materials recovered from your supplies. I'm going to do that. I don't want to lose my crew. We lost one, so I'd rather lose one supply I can buy another one. Deliver this guy. We get the one supply. What have we got? Magdalene's. We're at Magdalene's, so why is that complete? Deliver the Sky Madam Captain. The nurses bring a stretcher to carry the Sky Madam Captain from your train. He'll receive the care of Magdalene's finest, at least Magdalene's finest, with a sense of charity. Given that he has nothing on him to pay for their ministrations, delivering Sky Marshal, you have escorted the Sky Madam Captain. Sky Madam Captain no longer aboard you. Locomotive. I have one vision of the heavens. The terror has reduced. You've gained 100 experience. Now, do these. Meeting with Amical. An attendant escorts you through the dazzling violet corridor. Those red doors always open. The attendant leaves you just time. The amiable host reclines on a couch of crushed velvet, a goblet of sparkling wine in his long fingers. Somewhere in the tower above him, the great clock ticks away. As a policy, the host's atrium is always open to guests. He is available to hear opinions, friendly criticism and suggestions. Today, he has a headache. His sickness. His voice is soft and sibilant, like butter melting in candlelight. The guest has become rather too attached to a particular attendant. He always requests that the same attendant appear in the exact same guise. The amiable host's lip curls in distaste. He reiterates the aim of Magdalene's a place of healing and respite. It was not meant to feed the obsession of self-indulgence, self-loathing. This guest brings sickness. I would have him purged. I have a dossier on our guest. If you're interested in helping. Unwelcome truth. The amiable host would like you to talk. Difficult guest. Big Lankamoose's guest dossier. Okay, take it. So glad you want to help. He produces a thin sliver of pages and passes them to you. I'd recommend taking on the role of one of our attendants. That way you'd be playing the role of someone significant. This sounds like a dangerous idea. The amiable host is reaching for his goblet. He knows all of our attendants. We spy now. Someone new is needed. What happened there then? Deal with it. How do you plan to deal with the treatment chamber that has been emptied for you? Should you wish to adopt a guise from his past? Alternatively, he stood right there. He does not seem to notice you. His eyes instead boring through the doors of the treatment room. Approach directly. Disguise yourself as his mother. Disguise yourself as his lover. Approach him directly. Yes, eyes widen as you vote. Has there been a problem? You invite him to sit. Stiff brandies are ordered. You recount your own share of heartbreaks and tragedies, how you found yourself here, and how you make clear that despite all that, you will be leaving. He nods slowly, and after a quick shake of your hand, walks away towards the station. He does not look back. Want him to piss off, basically. Turn to the host. Amiable host smiles. Of course, my staff will be pleased. It is a risk of our trade when your clients can no longer separate identity and illusion, but seldom pleasant. Seldom pleasant. He sighs deeply, echoing around the chamber. A newly freed dove. It is a trap of any of us could fall into. His face darkens briefly. Here, take this. He fishes around beneath his couch one of his goblets. It will fetch a pretty price. Take it with my thanks, and do visit us again. You've gained 100 sovereigns. 453. Okay. Do I want some more fuel now? More fuel. Resupplies now. Need to get back. Back to New Winchester, and I think I don't want to go the way I've come because I want to undo the map. So I'm going to go back here and then north. Why have I got this sound of a really loud clicking clock? I feel like my train's about to explode. Build this guy around here, don't I? Spooky. Not finding much on it this way though. I need crew there. All that. Was this the one we? This the one we looked at last time? Ignore the wreck. The windows of the crew quarters are covered with frost, but that was movement you saw. 49% chance of success. Yeah. Your signaller fetches their signal lamp, flashes a paint message into each port window there. A faltering glow burns in the frost. Someone has struck a match. You dispatch a boarding party. They retrieve a survivor who's eager to sign on. Great. I needed crew. I've gained 1 crew, 50 experience. don't really want to go this way. I just wanted to undo the map a bit. What's this place? There's some lips. New Winchester was built. Watchtowers here. Dock. There's a homestead. Settlers who live so far beyond the edge of civilization relish the hardships of solitude. They will fiercely defend their small territories, but occasionally welcome company and trade. A homestead is a warm welcoming in the wide night. Its windows are gilded with lamplight. A sturdy settler beckons you in. Eat your fill. Hospitality is important on the frontier. Settlers invite you in to join them for a meal. This will reduce your terror, and if you're starving, buy you some time. Yeah. Breaking bread. You enjoy a meal of sticky porridge and viney vegetables. Afterwards, you and your host exchange non-committal observations on the wall between stovepipes and faculties. Your crew are content for a time. One of them even speculates idly about settling down. Oh, yeah, I'm not going to lose a crew member, am I? But briefly without terror. Okay. This thing here. The dock. Let's get back to New Winchester. Crew. Need to earn some more money so I can get a better train than this. I think you can improve how much you can carry and how much crew you can have. Go that way, or I could go left. I'm going to go left just to undo the map. Yeah, then. Hunters still. Wispy condensation trails across the sky that goes to passing trains. What's this thing here? Station. Victory Hall. Gotta go now, I think. I need to keep getting these reports as well. Deliver your reports. Oh, I can deliver them. Okay. I think I will do that. You now have 3 times the Textile's gratitude. You gain 300, 753, you've gained 3 fortunes. You've lost 3 fortune stove points. Trade favour for Savage Secret. Trade favour for Otherworldly Artifact. Chat with the Great Let's have a look at Need next. Do a mission. 100 though. You bargain. Keep it. See. Trade favour for a savage secret. A favour repaid. She learns close before she speaks. Her voice is low and laden with tobacco. She shares what she knows of several motions that have not yet reached the assembly floor. Some would make changes to laws that it is helpful to know about in advance. Lost 2 Decatite's gratitude, no total. You now have 1 times savage secret. That was a veteran. Her skin is brown and her hair is beginning to grey. She wears a heavy unbuttoned coat. Petals gleam in the shadows behind its look. One half of her face is scarred from frostbite, enjoying a quiet cigarello while her people argue in the chamber of assembly. You talk for a while about life in the skies. When her cigarello is just a stub, she says, "I'll be grateful to hear the reports of travels, Captain. I suspect all manner of strife and imprudence is going to kick off in the foreseeable. I mean to be ready for it." His reports maintain port and the men of Victory Hill. Just any stuff from here then. I could do. Oh, need to get my train better. I want to save it, upgrade my locomotive. Right, so Victory Hall's here, right near New Winchester. I'm just going to have a quick peek up here. Another place. Company house. These are the 2 places to turn in: the local headquarters of the Windward Company, London's proxy. Fellow Port reports here to receive rewards from the company. Whose gender is the subject of some debate in the company and the canteen. Secretary's prudence, however, is not. Both these facts provide a great degree of satisfaction. I'd be interested to receive reports. One never knows what might be important. Okay. That stuff. Are there any nectar at 100 as well? I better go. Okay. Engine yards. Need 1500 to. Does it do? Health goes up. Cargo goes down. Lightly armoured aggressive engine of the Crown was able to mount heavy weapons. But it's good for yanking and blowing shit up. 5 crew maximum doesn't sound good. Moloch class. 15 crew. Speed or something? My fuel rate. Burn rate. Lower the better, I presume. This is what I've got. Camped quarters. Let's do additional crew quarters. X +4. Okay. Rather spend the money on attic mining. What's this one? Damage 10, range 750. Onward shielding. Cabins. Lightning has slots, is it? I need to look at I've got those. I can get something else in here. I don't know whether it's worth upgrading this one or just saving 3,500 and getting. Prospects. Munitions for Port Prosper's chairman. Guns and satisfactory content. Deliver up to 3 carefully packed crates of munitions to Port Prosper. Do that. Where's Port Prosper? Port Prosper. Is Port Prosper. A little way off, but Bronzewood for Port Avon. Pay for 5 consignments of Bronzewood. Finish with it. This is worth just claiming these things when they come up. I think I should recruit her. I don't know how much it will cost. Get her. Welcome aboard, Your Majesty. I'm a humble first officer looking for what's the word when commoners do things for coin, she asks. Work, that's it. She beams at you, delighted, as innocent as a Gatling gun. Oh yes, hello. Hello. As she steps aboard, a commoner calmly takes a spoon from his pocket and scoops out his eyes. After such radiance, all else is tawdry, he said. It seems she has already forgotten about her signing on money. We've recruited the incognito princess. We don't have to pay any money. Excellent. Mr. Menagerie is passing through New Winchester. Pay your locomotive. Okay. You can do this at New... partially repaired. Fire crew. Full crew, new total 10, you've lost 30 sovereigns. Mr. Menagerie's passing. A tattered post above the station advertises the services of Mr. Menagerie, purveyor of fine scouts. An accompanying picture displays a tall cloaked figure, slightly stooped, clutching an array of adorable little beasts close to his chest. Beasts. Doesn't want me to put beasts in my ship, does he? A pile of cages looms out of the smog. He does. A cloaked figure. Garnet-hued eyes gleam from the darkness of its hood. Scouts? It rasps hopefully, its voice like a cleaver on a wheatstone. We trade scouts for things and stories. It leans closer to you. We're leaving soon. Bar nothing. You won't be purchasing a new scout today. Okay, these are bats. I do need a new one, but I need all these things. You need a steering enigma. Okay. Require nothing. He'll be moving on to another port. Okay, we'll have to do that because we are moving elsewhere soon, but we will leave a note saying where we have gone. We will have more things to show and stories to tell. Turns away, humming an eerie tune to itself. Gathers up. Be a bat in a cage. Okay. Note from Mr. Menagerie, right? Say where he's headed. Where's he gone? We go to the Regent's Obelisk. You have made into a gaudy amusement. Regent's Obelisk. No idea. No. Well, felt like hell that was. Visit the Promise of Days, a club where season captains go. The slow-burning war for the Reach forms the backdrop to daily life in New Winchester. Citizens wishing to keep up with developments in the war turn to the New Gazette. It is, famously, the only newspaper worth reading in New Winchester, as well as the only paper that hasn't bankrupted itself. Its quality speaks for itself. Here you can read about progress of the war, check your reputation with the factions, who currently controls the Reach. Read about the latest news in the Gazette. Read about the current political. Fortunes of war. Tensions mount in the Gulf of Gloom. As the stalled Takati scout refuses any attempt at rescue by patrolling Windward Company engines, the captain is called in aid from a Takati contingent on manoeuvres near Traitor's Wood, which the Windward commander is unwilling to let approach. Bloodshed is expected imminently. Well, I've got to go to Traitor's Wood, which is out, I think, near Port Avens. Dangerous. Read about the current political situation. The Assembly runs the New Winchester from Victory Hall and seeks to strengthen its hand in the Reach. London's proxy, the Windward Company, however, maintain a considerable presence in the Reach. Although New Winchester is still neutral ground, tensions are mounting within and without the forts. Okay, so those two sort of going at it, and then let's search for my name. Your name does not appear in any of the Takati focus report. That's because I didn't kill any of them. Well, I don't know, I killed a few dudes. Apparently you are not considered worthy of comment. There's no mention of you among the stories of the stovepipe. You're not an interest in them, okay. I think my aim was fame, wasn't it? So I've got literature for Traitor's Wood, so I've got to go to Traitor's Wood. I've got to take munitions to Port Prosper, which is completely the other direction. I need bronze for Port Avon. Ooh, I wonder if I can get bronze wood then. Port Avon is near Traitor's Wood. Level 5 or more. Market, fuel. Better take a eye, to be honest. Mining vessel, that. Let's say, what are my stats? 30, 10. I can't. Oh, I can buy munitions. What munitions am I meant to be buying? Completed, complete, complete. Where's it gone now? Has it given me the things already? Because I took the mission. He requires carefully packed crate of munitions, so... No, that doesn't mean I've got it. Deliver 3 more to complete this. 3 more what? Up to 3 carefully packed crates of munitions. Carefully packed. Not these are things to... You think I should probably... Well, I've got... Gives me 2 lots of guns. 2, I don't know where they get. It was, it's not selling them here, but that's what they look. I can deliver 2. Five consignments of ministry approved literature. Get those from. Approved literature. Approve these. I'm going to go to Trader's Wood and actually not deliver anything because I haven't got anything to deliver. Let's go back. X-Man, hello. X-Man, sorry you said yes, it was probably something I said a couple of minutes ago, so... I'll check these 2 things again for these letter things. Ministry approved, what was this? Deeds. And that's help. Report. Life consignments of ministry approved literature. Trader's Wood lies to the east of New Winchester. I've got the. I might as well do these munitions then. Where am I got to take these now? Port Prospect. Well, I know where that is. I might as well take those then because I've got to where it is. Check. I don't know what I'm doing in this game that much, Pexy Man, so I've actually played this game. I only just started it tonight, so quite early on. Double check. Seeds. Well, they were selling something else when I came. Right, so a long way away again now. I can go to Port Prosper and deliver 2 pick more ammunition up from. I should go up here a bit. Probably another city over there. I can attack these people. And loot them, but then I think I'll become notorious and they'll come after me. Could use a supply. Go down here. Great atmospheric this game, isn't it? Love it. Very unique. Get it now. Go south a little bit. Noise. Oh shit, really have the fuel to just get around. Cold, it's all snowy here. Really a bad place to go. That's where the noise is coming. Go down when I can. April 23rd. This close to the mother of mountains, the sky goes cold, a crude on coastal ground. Send out a scout that uses up a supply. ton of loot. Give me something good. Fuel the supplies. Bollocks. Forgetting that happens after money. Why did I have to halt their nonsense? There's a crap at me. Loot the hold. Distressingly odoured barrel. No one's keen to get close. The lid is gingerly removed. All breathe a sigh of relief when the coke is revealed. Black and precious, the captain's truest friend. You've gained fuel. This is the way we came. Little love taps. I'm gonna look up here. And go up. And back up into the ice. Stunted Grove, 57 experience. Cautious Drive Grimm's mother said illness is all in the mind. Should fit in right here. Oh, the city is there, maybe. Oh, there's that. I say it must be. I think. Oh wait. Garden of Insatiable Roses. What we found, let's see. Checkerboard Garden. Brilliant. What was this? I would presume. This peaceful Carmine institution was founded by devils from London and dedicated to the betterment of the soul. Othridge's A Tour of Heaven describes it as a cross between a spa, a sanatorium, and purgatory. Great. Commends its bracing airs. Travel around Carillion. Greystone, the colour of a monastery. Attending devils and devilesses dressed in uniform. Rage of Fortnight. Provided that at least 15 days have passed. Good. So was I dying? An incoming parade of the sick. Friendliness, the dying, and those who think their lives would be better if only they were somewhere else. This is Carillion, where souls are refined into something more impressive. Go and speak to the presiding deviless. Write a report. Let's write a report first. Take some notes on a pilgrim's journey through Carillion. The first port of call is a beehive-shaped office in the centre, or more accurately, the long queue leading into it. From there, the infernal attendants direct them to one of Carillion's 7 gardens to undergo penances. They certainly look penitent by the time they emerge. Presumably their souls are much improved. And your port reports. Right. Go and speak to the deviless. Presiding deviless works in an office shaped like a beehive, a stone and a wickerwork building that stands all alone in the middle of Carillion's central courtyard. She conducts intake interviews with new patients one by one. For a long time in line, you reach her at last. Greetings, Captain. Stretch, strain, purify and strengthen you now that you've come to... Stretching me. Seven gardens for 7 sins. We do whatever is necessary to reclaim unsatisfied souls. She sits back in a chair, and you can imagine her making just such a pitch. The Princess of Hell. For humans, primarily, we do attend a few other creatures elsewhere on the Great Chain. They come to us with souls that are stained, disused, and in every kind of sordid condition, and we make them acceptable again. Most of these who come to us are volunteers, the rest are beyond. Please. I think you can collect souls or something, so I think bring them. Most people go home again, she says. Some find that they are weary of their souls and pass them on to us. We operate on that slender profit. About you, you look sturdy enough to make full use of our services. Are you afraid of needles? What is your view of worms? What do you fear more, venoms or poisons? It's down a page or two on all your least favourite things. Ooh, they've got munitions. I need. Beat the mission. Strange that they would have munitions at this place. Umoris. Nectar. And see, that's more. The other ones were 100. Flies. Back. I'm going to buy them. Travel around Korea. Let us roll Korean. Or you can take your first step towards the terraces. A devil blocks your way. Not yet, I'm afraid. You must have permission from the presiding deviless. Some of our procedures are feeling delicate. We need to be certain you comprehend. Sends you in the direction of the centre, I'm sure. Okay. Probably have to go. She's prepared to offer you a deal, I don't know. Gentle denial. Apron and starch, her dress pinstripe. There is a stack of patent files on her desk. Color coded in the corners of her mouth. She says she knows something to your disadvantage. Listen to her proposal. Deal, welcome patient. Listen, she says. You are free to make use of Carillion. Take a penance or two after your soul. I think you'll find our services very imaginative. There's another matter I hope you will look into. A devil in rose-coloured gloves supervise the gaslight terror. Removed from that position, but I fear he still may entirely aligned with the objectives of Carillion. If you find out anything about it, anything to his disadvantage, bring me the evidence and I. Gaslight terrace. Your companions are a lady in a button cloak and a young male student. Talk amongst themselves about the seasonable warmth and about how the yellowish glow of the lamps does not show blue silk. Their words are commonplace, their hands folded and gloved, their opinions supplied. Respectable gazette. You've almost forgotten them even while you are still walking together. Paths descend by shallow steps to a broad terrace, crowded as an imperial exhibition. In penance, vision, 42% chance. Approach the spineless curate, E6 and yes. Penance paid. A respectable patriarch is prone to gluttony without enjoyment. To cure those defects of character, he has been given a viper in a velvet sack, told to keep it from squirming. Do you feel any more interested now? Asked the superman. As for your punishment, it does not bear speaking of. The experiences leaves your throat parched. You have a penance and enlightenment. Do this. Do this though first. I've seen something in this light. It's hard not to see things. A devilish orderly jabs the curate with a needle. At the sight of the jab, the curate's skin goes lavender. I'm being treated for not believing in God. I've tried everything: prayer, fasting, long weekends with a professional saint. None of it worked. My sermons were suffering. My bishop complained. And has it helped? I have dreams of snakes and angels, he says. It hasn't made me a mystic. I don't think the devils are real either. Just men with funny eyes, aren't they? Devilish orderly smiles with extra teeth. Initiate curate needs freeing. In alternate. This thing, cure the lightness of soul. That's gain 500 experience. Gain a vision of heavens. New to or Salon Steward Gossip. Can't do that then. Hold on, let me check because I can't remember what I was given them, was it? No. Yes, but try to enter the Bell Garden. I've been turned away for impurity. Let me come out. Gee. Do this. Gain 500 experience. I've gained savage secrets. Do the rubbery. Speak to him. Wishy handshake. Eyes. He indicates that he is coming, looking for his place in the world. Met him, so I think that will. Shift of perspective thing. Stunted Grove. God. places are there? Seated on a from an enormous barrel of supply. Whilst we're taking in. When you come over, she puts down a spoon long enough to greet you. Here on behalf of Viscount doesn't love the children, waiting back in penance. Only supervising Devil sets another long-handled spoon at her elbow, assisting a professional pennant. Oh yes, she smiles really. When you describe the devil in question, I've been coming here a long time. Very highly placed, you know. The presiding devil has caught him pinching flies from the storehouse. Now he performs a few of the lesser punishments, some lightweight pitchforking and a little work with a poker. His heart isn't in it. Devils don't stick long. Okay, so I can't. Fountains, pebbles, shoes. First you remove your shoes, wash your face from the fountain of fresh water and your feet in the basin of salt water. Walk across a patch of white sand, throwing a pebble for any ill-omened thing that might be following you. Then sleep in a hammock on a private balcony where only other patients may enter. When you wake up, eat a plain white bread with a salt crust. All this you'll be ready. You have formed the proper pure. One of the things I needed for shifter perspective. Error for failing, do I? Okay. Enter. Right, so I'm going to end up soon here. It's midnight for me. I just want to get to... What Prosper I'm trying to get to? Prosper, yeah, and deliver these crates. I'm going to do that and then... Quite close. Cantankerous placated. Cantankerous are lumbering, half-fossilized isopods that will attack anything they disapprove of. Given that they are very ancient and murderously grumpy, that means almost everything. The corpse of the Cantankerous has been neatly sheared, creating a clear cross-section of its internal arrangements. Praise precious stones from its carapace. Sometimes cluster of jasper, tourmaline, agate can be found. 40% chance. Retrieve a stony organ. Send one of the crew out with a set of pliers. You will find an uncanny specimen, but may lose crew. 2%. Sovereigns. Let's go for this. In 17 sovereigns. Is that all? 17? Shit. Abandoned signal box. Window cracks have accreted a filling of moss green dust. Once white paint is yellowed and peeling. The signal box possesses a faded dignity, like a beleaguered butler. It was designed with pride to be folly the Insabard line. Inside, beneath a desk covered with rusted levers, luggage trunk, captains and Diane can borrow from the cache inside, but custom dictates they must replenish. Route of fatalistic signal. You detect a whiff of cigarette smoke as you enter. A man in a grey uniform, grey bolo rises from a chair. Evening. I don't suppose you're looking for a signaller. Read the ledger. You will gain vision of the heavens or sky stories. Read the cat. Another signal one. I'll leave. I don't know where it is. Engineers. What do I need now? Mascot and quartermaster. Map. Enter through the prepare for repair. go for. And then we'll leave it there for tonight. Other than the game, pretty unique. Being that I didn't play Sunless Seas, but got that like £4 or something wrong with this game. I've got two guns. Oh, okay, left and right. And right mouse. Don't really have the fuel to piss about. Come down this way. I can get the port prospect here relatively. Oh, it looks like it might be a dead end. Oh, I've only got 2 fuel left. Let me dock up, save the game, that'll be it for tonight. Loving it. There isn't a gap through here, is there? Nice fuel. I hope there's fuel at this place. Hold on, maybe. I'm just going to deliver the munitions at Port Prosper. Turn that mission in. World War III going on out here. Complete this prospect, supply 3 or more. So, right, that's done. Munition support prospers. Chairman woman coming to look at the done all that. So you've gained 1 supply. I've gained 10 times fortunes. Stovepipes new total 30. Struggling. Gained 150 experience. Gained 3 reputation for the Windward Company. Now 53 curious. You've lost 3 reputation with the Takatites. You now have 47 tolerated. Those are probably best to keep those level. So you can do stuff for both people, I imagine. Bargains available. Barrels of unseasoned hours, 55. Does seem good. Let me buy one. Maybe another. Yeah, I think I bought 3 in total. Right. Fuel. Supply. Another fuel. We need to start fighting stuff. Getting a few upgrades. We already have a settler. I do, don't I? Where am I taking him? Oh, so I need to deliver that guy to Traitors already. I'll have to go back through those on the next video. I'd already written a report. Then the grand ball. Oh, oh. Do that, right. 25% chance. Do this. You drink far more than is appropriate, willingly aided and abetted by several friends amongst the servants. You dance, reels and jigs, disrupt and carefully choreographed waltzes. You compare the chairman's voice to demented recording. You startle, outrage, you cavort, basically a piss about. The older generation are appalled, the younger delightfully scandalised. Your friends in the galley are quite beside themselves. The stories of what you did with the bust of the consort circulate round the East End taverns for days. You're tolerated by the impoverished East Enders. Here's go up where a team of patriotic mountaineers scaled the cliff. They have the Union Jack. Whatever. Narrow street style, narrow. Healing posters. When newcomers arrive, port passport and never leave it. I've got this faculty nameplate. The company would have been there, actually. Service reduced. Gained 1 reputation with the Windward Company. You've lost 1 rep. Even that out of it. Okay. Right. I think we'll leave it there. Need to deliver this guy to got to do these. Deliver this guy to this place. This Crater's Wood. How do we save this then, or does it just... Saves automatically, I presume. Into the title screen. Leaving the game will now discard any progress you made since visiting the dock. Okay, so it saves every time. That would save, I presume. Okay, well, thanks for joining me for tonight. I'm enjoying this game. I'll do more of this week, and we'll carry on exploring the sights and sounds of Sunless Skies. Thanks, guys.